I promised you lads my solution to this problem. And the game isn't evolving the way we'd hoped. We're coming off, 12, 13 years of terrible football, 14 men behind the ball. So the only solution I can think of, encouraging managers not to do it isn't working, right? The only thing I can see that is going to work is to restrict the amount of players you can defend with. So my solution is to keep full forward lines and full back lines inside the 45. That's your traditional number 2, 3 and 4, marking your traditional number 13, 14, 15. You have scorers and you have taggers, markers, right? And they cannot come outside the 45. If they do, it's a free kick. No different than if you kicked the ball into David Clifford into the corner and it went over the sideline. Sorry, he's gone out over the sideline. Now it's a sideline ball, back out. That's the same principle. So I have a visual here to explain a little bit better what I'm talking about. So this is a situation most GAA fans will be very familiar with. We have all 30 players in one side of the field. It is awful to watch. It's predominantly a hand-passing game. There's no room to kick it. The ball is past the parcel, over and back, outside the screen. We can see Meath here, Keane, in the green goal. They are zonally inside the 45 mark in the scoring zone, all with an eye on a Dublin player who are outside the scoring zone. We know how these games go. Even the goalkeeper on the Dublin side, even though Cluxton never comes out of his goals, but let's just say he does, most goalkeepers do, he's come up into the play to try and create an overlap. Here's the full forward line, full back line getting out of there. You're bringing 6 players out of that congested side of the field. They can't come outside there. The goalkeeper will have to go back, obviously. Dublin don't want all that space in front of the full forward line. A sweeper will have to go back. He's going to be cutting out the kick pass, so it would be smart for Meath maybe to play someone under 40 to be an out ball, when the lads can't come outside. When you bring back a sweeper, you are looking at 10 players being taken out of that. Now, not every team is going to bring their centre forward up and play it on the 45, but that's all right too. You're still taking 8 out, right? But the attack-minded teams, like the Dublins, Kerrys, Mayos, will all probably play with 4 forwards in this scenario. And look at the shape of the game now, Keane. Is that not a lot more attractive, structure on a game than what we started out with?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the big things with it is that it allows that faster transition with the foot. I mean, like it's, the old thing of all the coaches, the ball will travel quicker than the man and all of this. But the problem that players have had and teams have had is that the options weren't there ahead of the ball. So if you create those options ahead of the ball, it means that you're going to see that faster transition and you're going to see great contests for possession because, defenders and forwards are going to have to be honest there and competing for the ball because the rewards for bombing on and leaving somebody free behind, some teams will take the chance, some won't. But the fact that you have to have your 3 and 3 up, it does keep that traditional shape on the game in the large part. And as you say, you're talking about a sweeper being back there. I mean, we just call that a traditional centre-half back who'd hold his shape and hold his position in the team and maybe would have a foray forward every now and again. I suppose the question mark there is, do we clip the wings of all of these attacking goalkeepers as well, Bully? But maybe we'll have to come back to that at another point in time.
Well, that's the thing. What we're losing on this, Aaron, right? You'll turn around and say, some people will say, oh, Tom O'Sullivan, we won't see him bombing up and scoring. Tom O'Sullivan's a wing-back as far as I'm concerned. He'll play number 7. There's no problem with Tom O'Sullivan. And do we want to see cornerbacks running up, scoring a fisted point or a kick point at the expense of the Cliffords, the McGuigans and all these lads back defending? I don't think... What will we lose from this, do you think?
I don't think we will lose a whole pile out of it. For me, I agree with it. Even if a team didn't take a centre-half forward up to play him, 1 year inside 3, goes to the edge of the D, but I can guarantee you the opposition will drop back a sweeper. So in just keeping that there shape, you'll have a goalkeeper behind you, you'll have a sweeper in front, and then you'll still have 3. So that's 5 opposition players that you've penned back inside the 45. So therefore, it allows more space all over the field for your foot pass or giving you the options to kick, get out of defence. It is massive because my fear is, and I think this is it's drifted fairly quickly, is I think the marquee players, the household names, to me are going out of the game in terms of who is the top full-back now, who is a traditional full-back in the game. He's gone. Who is your traditional centre-half back in the game? They're gone.
They're all the same, aren't they?
They're all the same. But where is Trevor Giles, Jarlath Fallon now, your centre-half forwards? They're gone. So other than really Clifford, who is lighting things up and beating 3 or 4 men, are we just going to drift until he's gone as well and we all can do the same thing, running up and down the field? The athleticism and the skill level across the board in terms of how everyone is now. Yes, that's unbelievable where football has progressed, but I think we still need to be careful with what we're losing by all of this. And it's traditional, like your Kieran McKeever from Derry, cornerback, you know, who was unbelievable and not afraid to be isolated one-on-one with Peter Canavan, arguably one of the greatest players ever. So he took pride in that. That was a skill in him having the ability to do what he could do. Mark and Canavan, James McCartan, these boys. It's a sense of pride for those boys to be able to do that there. And I don't think we can lose that. And at the moment we are. Everyone is athletic. Everyone can carry the ball. But there's just some people who are unbelievable at doing jobs that others can't. And I don't want that there to be lost in the game. And at the moment, I think that's where we're drifting.
Yeah, I think we are. It also fixes the kick-out problem because, you know, the three of them will be responsible for each other, right? So there'll be a press immediately, really. You're not going to get a scatter scenario where all the forwards are back the field and there's an easy tap to the corner back.
Yeah.
That's not going to be a situation. So this naturally can help the press and send more kick-outs along. And you don't have to actually tell goalies you have to do it. It might happen organically.
Yeah, well, I suppose what we're trying to do now is counteract the fact that it used to be, you know, a lack of fitness maybe in the full back and full forward.
Bring it back, Keane. Bring it back. Give me a lazy number 13.
Yeah, that's what used to keep us up there. We weren't able to go up and down the field. So, I mean, a rule change to kind of, I suppose, get that bit of shape on it is, look, it's well worth a go, Wooly. I mean, like, the thing about it is, what is there to be lost? I mean, people are, you know, every time you finish a game or whatever, people are complaining about what they've seen. The entertainment value has been somewhat lost. So I think any attempts to kind of, you know, feedback into that is worthwhile going with. And as Aaron says, like, it does bring back the kind of the key attributes that you require in different positions. You know, the specialist cornerback or the specialist fullback who actually couldn't play cornerback. I mean, these were actually key positions for a long period of time that were very important and integral. Some of the most legendary players in the game, you know, I look at Meath, like, sure, we have a history of these incredible fullbacks, you know, and they're the great players in Meath football history. So it's like that tradition of the game, I think we have to try and hold on to that sort of stuff because it is important.
But by doing it, it puts the onus on coaches to develop those players.
Yeah.
Develop your fullback again. Yeah. Develop your cornerback, your corner forwards. And like, again, we were trying to talk off air, thinking about it, like, is how many times, and it's making it relevant, did you ever see Bernard Flynn, who is one of Meath's probably greatest innings forward, tracking back in the middle of the field? He didn't do it. You can still clock up the miles of distances inside the 45 where you're in the area of the field that suits you best and the skill set that you have. So develop that corner forward. Like, if you know you need a good full back, now you have to develop them. You just can't have it, well, we don't need a big man who can fetch high ball a man and square, because just everyone's going to be back. Do you know? So to me, it will make coaches develop, design and individualize positions again, which I think is massive in our sport.
Yeah. Well, that's it. And I suppose this is the big... I'm trying to think of a downside because we're all kind of in agreement that it will improve.
Well, it's your idea, Wooly, so you're not going to think of a downside.
Because I kind of, when I get an idea in my head, I can't see anything wrong with it. This is the greatest idea. But like some people, because I've been tweeting about this and whatever, they think that it can't be implemented at club level. You know, they're imagining this scenario where the number 13 sneaks up along the stand side and tries to trick the ref. If you're not allowed outside, I would be surprised if players come out.
My only one is, if I'm just imagining it's the last minute of an All-Ireland final, I'm coming out with the ball as a cornerback and you hit the 45 and you just have to stop. Like, someone has to come and take it off you. Or if you're, say, for instance, tracking a cornerback or a fullback in an All-Ireland final, the last minute, are you just not going to step over that there lane because you're not allowed to? I don't know how you would fix or tweak that there.
But it would be a free kick for the fullback then, right? So, you know.
Yeah, and then that might suit in terms of you might go out and it stops you in terms of it's nearly cynical. You'll just run outside the 45 because you know the game has to stop. I don't know. In theory, I'm all on it for you. I think we can work it, and I think there is a way that if there is tweaks that need to be made. But for me, I just think it's massive that we do put some sort of traditional shape back into our game again that creates the individual players that we all want to see in terms of, can you contest as a defender and a forward?
Yeah.